Hey, I'm Matt, and today we're going to be playing 6x6 consecutive nights, won by Railman. This is an irregular 6x6 Sudoku that was actually recommended to me by Railman himself. I am excited to play it. Let's read the rules and figure out how we're going to go. So, irregular 6x6 rules apply. Place the digits from 1 to 6 once in every row, column, and bold outlined region. Every pair of cells that are a chess knights move apart and are in the same region must have consecutive digits. Okay. And digits must increase along the thermometer starting from the bulb. It says increase, so I guess these will be increasing digits. And this is a 6x6 Sudoku, so I guess we'll only use the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What that means is that in this column, we can't use the 3 and the 4. We can only now use 1, 2, 5, and 6. And I don't think it's possible for 5 and 6 to go here because we need increasing digits. We wouldn't have anything after that. So I think what this means is that this is going to be a 1 and this is going to be a 2. And then after that, it's fair game. This could be a 5 or a 6. That's all that's left. These are a chess knights move apart, but they are in different regions, so they can't be consecutive. These are a chess knights move apart, and they are in the same region. So what that means, I think, is that this needs to be consecutive with 2. It can't be a 3. It needs to be a 1. And now you are our other 5 and 6. And also, you are our other 5 and 6, too. We maybe could have done that one trick in a different way. But we need consecutive digits with a knight's move. So you are a chess knights move apart. You're also in the same region. I think that means you need to be a 2. And now, you need to be a 2, and now you are a knight's move apart, which means you need to be a 3. Now you are a knight's move apart, which means you need to be a 4. This is fun. I really like this. Let's see. What else is missing up here is also the 5s and 6s. So you're going to be a 5 and a 6, and now in this column we're missing some numbers. We're missing a 2 and a 4. So you're going to be a 2 and a 4. If you guys are 2 and 4, you're a 5, 6. We need another 5, 6 in this column. But where's that going to go? I guess it can't go here. What is missing here? We need a 1 and a 3 and a 5 and a 6. So how do we do that? I'm not quite sure. I guess the 1 can't go here, right? And then a 3 could go there, but we could also have a 5, 6. Maybe we should start coloring in these 5, 6 to figure out what is what. So for example, say this was pink and this was yellow. Well, this is going to be like a 6 or a 5, and then this is going to be the opposite of that. It'll be like a 5 or a 6. That means this needs to be equal to this one, right? So you need to be the pink one. And now you need to be different. So you would need to be yellow, and now you would need to be pink. And the reason why that is helpful, I'm not sure. I think maybe we try to use these two in the consecutive knights rule. I think that might be our only way in. I think that's what we have to do. Okay, so this is going to be a 2 and a 4, right? Say this was a 2. We would need a consecutive digit with the 2. For these two, I see. This square can reach 2 squares with the consecutive knights, which will be the consecutive numbers around this. So if this was a 2, then this would need to be a 1 and a 3. If this was a 4, then this would need to be a 3 and a 5. Huh. So I guess you can only be 1, 3, and 5. You can't be a 1, but it's going to look something like that. The other digit that we're missing is the yellow 5, 6, right? So there's a pink 5 and 6 in here. We know that's going to resolve to something. The yellow one is going to resolve to the opposite. So if this was a 6, then we would need to place, if this was a 5, then we would still need to place a 6 in here someplace. So can you be a 5? If you were a 5, then you would need to be a 6. That 6 could only go here, but it can't because of you. So I guess what that means is that you can't be a 5, 5, 6. Yeah, you need to be a 6. You must be a 6. And now by the consecutive knights rule, you need to be a 5 because your knights move apart. Now you need to be a 6. You need to be a 5. Now this can only be 1 or 3, but it needs to be consecutive with this. This needs to be consecutive with the 5. So you need to be a 4. Now you need to be a 3. Now you need to be a 2. We put a 3 in the corner. That gives us some confetti. Now you need to be a 1. The last thing is this needs to be consecutive with you, but we knew you were a 6 anyway, and I guess now we know that you were a 5 anyway. Now, we filled in the left half of the puzzle. I have some questions about how we're going to fill in the right half of the puzzle. I think the only way of doing that is using the consecutive nights rule. And I don't think it'll be cheating if I put in some placeholder numbers for us. In this row, we need a 1, 4, and 5. In this row, we need a 2, 3, and 6. And a 9, a 6. And now we need to maybe figure out how to navigate this with the consecutive nights. Maybe I should do another one. I'm not sure. 1 needs to go here, 4 needs to go here, and 5 needs to go here. So what does that mean? I guess it means we have 3 cells in this region where we can have a 1, 4, and 5, and we can have these 3 cells need a 2, 3, and 6. So the funny thing about this square is that it needs to be consecutive with this square. And there's no way of doing that with a 1. So you need to now be a 1. And now since you need to be consecutive, you need to be a 2. All right, so we know that. So these are 4 and 5. In order to be consecutive, well, this needs to be consecutive with this. And this needs to be consecutive with this. I don't know if that's enough help for us, actually. Excuse me. You can't be 2s anymore. In fact, you can't be a 1 anymore. But maybe we could have this as 3 and 4, and this is 5 and 6. That's sort of what we're going to get. Or we could have this as 3 and 4, and this is 5 and 6, and that's what we're going to get. We're almost 7 minutes into the puzzle. This has been a good puzzle. So I guess, what? Can we fill in this region without using the rows? I guess these 3 are going to be 1, 4, and 5. We have 3 numbers that fit in 3 slots. That means that the remaining numbers down here are going to be 2, 3, and 6. You can't be a 2. Do I want to use the Knights rule in this region, or should I try to replicate what we did up here, down here? I'm not sure. Maybe we should just, I don't want to fill them all in. But how? We know that these need to be consecutive. I guess that's allowed. This could be a 3 and a 4, or a 6 and a 5. These need to be consecutive. I feel like that's allowed. This could be, it could be 3 and 4, or 2 and 1, or 5 and 6. So I guess we have to use the rows down here, don't we? So what's missing over here is a 2, 3, and 6. What's missing here is also a 2, 3, and 6. Except for the fact that that 2 can't go here. And now on the bottom, we're missing a 1, 4, and 5. That 1 can't go here. So let's use the Knights move rule down here. This cell needs to be consecutive with this cell and this cell. That means that you're not allowed to be a 6, because a 6 can only have 1 number. If you're not allowed to be a 6, one consecutive number is 5. If you're not allowed to be a 6, then you need to be a 3. This means you need to be a 6. Now you need to be a 2, you need to be a 3, you need to be a 2, you need to be a 6. And can we do more consecutive work? I guess if you're a 2, then you need to be a 1. You need to be consecutive with 6, so you're 5, now you're 4. Okay, so now I think things are filled in for us, and we can just do the rest of the puzzle. This was a fun puzzle. I enjoyed playing it. Thank you, Railman, for recommending it, and I'll give it a little like. This was 6x6 consecutive nights #1, and we did the puzzle in 8 minutes and 42 seconds. We were the 352nd solver, but this puzzle has been around for 35.3 days. So I don't know if I'll have time to post this, but if some other benevolent person solves this puzzle in the next 0.1 days, I guess there'll be one solve per 0.1 days. Anyway, if you got this far in the video, thank you for watching, and I hope to do more puzzles with you soon. This was 6x6 consecutive nights #1 by Railman, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So with that, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again.